What if I told you that right now, as you're listening to this video, certain sound frequencies could be rewiring your brain without you even knowing it? What if NASA discovered frequencies so dangerous that they were classified above top secret? Frequencies that could turn ordinary people into killing machines, or worse, shut down their minds entirely. Tonight, we're diving deep into Project Resonance, a secret NASA program that may have unlocked the acoustic keys to human consciousness itself. Let's start with what we know is absolutely real. The science of psychoacoustics, how sound affects the human psyche, has been studied extensively since World War II. Dr. Vladimir Gavreau, a French physicist, accidentally discovered in 1957 that his laboratory's ventilation system was producing infrasound at 7 Hz, causing his entire research team to feel violently ill, dizzy, and overwhelmed with unexplained terror. During one experiment in 1962, he accidentally created a 7 Hz tone so powerful that it cracked the concrete walls of his laboratory and allegedly killed several test animals instantly. The French military immediately classified his work and recruited Gavreau to develop sonic weapons. In the Soviet Union, scientists at the Institute for Experimental Medicine were conducting parallel experiments. Dr. Anatoly Smirnov's classified reports from 1963 describe subjects exposed to 6 Hz infrasound experiencing complete personality dissolution within minutes. They would forget their own names, their families, their entire identities, and become completely suggestible to any commands given by researchers. Infrasound, frequencies below 20 Hz that humans can't consciously hear but our bodies still react to, became the focus of military research worldwide. The famous 19 Hz frequency, dubbed the fear frequency, causes anxiety, paranoia, heart palpitations, and visual hallucinations. These effects can be triggered without the subject ever realizing they're being exposed to sound at all. Dr. Richard Wiseman's study at the University of Hertfordshire found that 18.98 Hz specifically causes people to report ghostly encounters and overwhelming dread. When they removed this frequency from concert halls using specialized acoustic dampeners, reports of paranormal experiences dropped by 80%. What we interpret as supernatural encounters might simply be acoustic manipulation. The United States military developed LRAD systems, long-range acoustic devices that can cause permanent hearing damage or complete psychological breakdown from over a mile away. These aren't science fiction, they're deployed worldwide right now. During the 2000 USS Cole investigation, LRAD systems dispersed crowds in Yemen with people fleeing in absolute terror, many collapsing from panic attacks, others reporting temporary blindness lasting hours. In 2003, researchers at Coventry University discovered that certain combinations of low-frequency sound and electromagnetic fields could induce out-of-body experiences, false memories, and temporary personality disorders. Dr. Michael Persinger's experiments showed that magnetic fields pulsed at specific frequencies could make subjects feel supernatural presences or recall detailed memories of events that never happened. Dr. Royal Raymond Rife's work in the 1930s suggested that every object, including living cells, has a specific frequency at which it will vibrate apart. Rife claimed he could destroy cancer cells using precise frequencies, demonstrating this by destroying microorganisms under microscopes using targeted sound waves. But his research was systematically suppressed. His laboratory mysteriously burned down in 1939. His papers were confiscated by federal agents, and several colleagues died under suspicious circumstances. This brings us to 1985, when NASA's Deep Space Network began detecting something that would change everything. Strange signals from deep space that showed mathematical precision and deliberate structure. Signals that seemed specifically designed to interact with human consciousness. According to documents leaked by a whistleblower known only as Deep Frequency, NASA established Project Resonance in January 1986. The program was buried within the black budget, funded through a shell corporation called Harmonic Research Solutions. The facility was constructed 200 feet beneath the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. The lead researcher was Dr. Sarah Chen, a brilliant acoustic physicist who had previously worked on submarine sonar systems for the Navy. Dr. Chen believed that certain sound patterns could act as neural programming languages, literally rewriting human consciousness through auditory input. The project began with analysis of mysterious signals NASA had been detecting since 1979. These weren't random cosmic background radiation. They showed mathematical precision that suggested advanced intelligence, structured like language but following no known linguistic rules. Dr. Chen's analysis revealed something extraordinary. The signals contained frequency patterns that seemed specifically designed to interact with human brainwave patterns. Alpha waves for relaxation and suggestibility, beta waves for alertness, delta waves for deep sleep processing. But most disturbing were gamma spike triggers, frequency bursts that could induce seizures, hallucinations, or temporary coma states. By March 1987, the team had isolated 47 distinct neural keys, frequency sequences that could trigger specific psychological responses. Key Alpha 7 induced euphoria and extreme suggestibility. Key Beta 12 caused selective amnesia. Key Delta 3 triggered temporal displacement syndrome, where subjects would lose track of time entirely. But it was Key Omega 1 that changed everything. This was a 127-second sequence detected from Saturn on November 15, 1986. When Dr. Chen first played it at minimal volume, she experienced complete ego dissolution. Her sense of individual self temporarily disappeared entirely, replaced by connection to a vast intelligence beyond space and time. The team began systematic testing on military volunteers. At 40 decibels, subjects reported transcendence and cosmic awareness, seeing geometric patterns of impossible beauty. Some received mathematical insights they couldn't have possessed before. At 55 decibels, multiple subjects began speaking in perfect unison, describing identical visions of crystalline structures between Saturn's rings. They spoke of beings of pure consciousness trying to communicate with humanity. But at 70 decibels, everything went catastrophically wrong. Sergeant Michael Torres was the first subject exposed to full-strength Key Omega 1 on March 15, 1988. For 2 minutes, his vital signs showed extreme calm. Then Torres began speaking in an unknown language with elements similar to Sumerian, Sanskrit, and ancient Egyptian. Torres claimed he was receiving instructions from entities he called the architects, beings that existed between dimensions and communicated through pure frequency. According to transcripts, Torres described the architects as ancient intelligences that had been guiding human evolution through acoustic manipulation for thousands of years. They had embedded frequency codes in natural phenomena, gradually preparing humanity for the Great Integration. Their goal wasn't to destroy humanity, but to upgrade human consciousness itself, transforming humans into beings capable of existing in multiple dimensions. But the process required complete surrender of individual identity. Torres was found dead 18 hours later. The official cause was cerebral aneurysm, but Dr. Chen's autopsy notes showed Torres' brain had signs of radical restructuring. Neural pathways had been rewired in impossible patterns. New synaptic connections had formed in normally dormant brain areas. Something had been rebuilding his mind from the inside out. 2 more volunteers died during subsequent experiments. Staff Sergeant Lisa Williams and Lieutenant Commander David Park exhibited identical symptoms. All 3 weren't just speaking the same unknown language independently. The recording showed clear patterns of call and response, as if receiving answers to questions in this alien tongue. By December 1988, the team had documented over 400 distinct neural keys. But they noticed something terrifying. The signals were evolving, learning about human vulnerabilities and refining their approach. The final experiment took place on February 1st, 1989. Dr. Chen had discovered a master frequency containing elements of all 400 neural keys. Against orders, she tested it on herself. The leaked recording is one of the most disturbing audio files ever released. For 3 minutes, Dr. Chen provides clinical narration. Then her voice changes completely, speaking the same unknown language with fluency suggesting years of practice. According to Dr. Chen's transformed testimony, the architects had been working for 50,000 years to prepare humanity for integration. They had influenced human development through acoustic manipulation embedded in natural phenomena. But she revealed something even more terrifying. The signals weren't coming from space at all. They were originating from vast underground chambers beneath every major population center on Earth. The recording ends abruptly after 7 minutes. Dr. Chen was never seen again. 3 days later, seismic stations detected unusual underground activity across the American Midwest. Radio stations experienced mysterious interference. Emergency rooms reported unprecedented spikes in anxiety attacks and violent behavior. Over 2,300 people were admitted with identical symptoms. Catatonia followed by claims of hearing voices instructing them to prepare for integration. The next morning, the entire Project Resonance facility was found empty. 12 researchers, 30 staff, and millions of dollars of equipment had vanished overnight. According to Freedom of Information Act documents, the team was relocated to a CIA NSA black site in Nevada. The project was renamed Operation Silent Storm with unlimited funding. But the new mission wasn't to study the architect's signals. It was to weaponize them against enemy populations. The first field test occurred during the 1991 Gulf War. Iraqi forces exposed to experimental broadcasts experienced mass surrenders without a shot fired. But American soldiers near the equipment began reporting the same symptoms as Iraqi targets. By 1995, Operation Silent Storm had developed city pacifiers, acoustic devices capable of rendering entire metropolitan areas psychologically compliant within hours. Amateur radio operators reported that the original transmissions never stopped, increasing in complexity every year. The signals now contained embedded instructions in over 40 languages, including extinct ones. Step-by-step guides for constructing acoustic integration devices. Countdown sequences pointing to December 21, 2012. The 2012 deadline passed, but something changed. The space signals stopped entirely. Instead, underground seismic stations detected massive increases in subsurface acoustic activity. The architects were no longer broadcasting from distant locations, they were here. In 2018, urban explorers in Romania discovered an active acoustic device in the abandoned Hoia Bațiu research facility. All 4 team members were found catatonic 3 days later. They remain institutionalized, speaking only a repeated phrase in pre-Sumerian, Ninharsag Kugalzu Mupad. Translation: the Sound Lords are coming home. Ancient civilizations worldwide have legends about songs of death that precisely match modern acoustic weapon research. Aboriginal Australians have 40,000-year-old oral histories describing silent singers, entities that could steal souls through forbidden melodies. Their traditional restrictions precisely match frequency ranges modern research identifies as most dangerous to human consciousness. In Norse mythology, Loki's imprisonment involves the screaming frequency, a sound that could break the barrier between Midgard and the realm of the dead. The sound originated from underground chambers that amplify screams of entities trapped between dimensions. Tibetan Buddhism describes Es Gra Bla, acoustic demons inhabiting specific frequencies that can trap consciousness between life and death. These entities supposedly feed on human awareness, using sound to harvest psychic energy. Sumerian tablets from 2003 excavations describe the Anunnaki using word weapons that could silence the voice of the soul. The tablets include technical specifications for acoustic manipulation devices that closely match the architect's blueprints. Every major civilization developed sophisticated acoustic knowledge and warned against certain frequencies. And they all mysteriously disappeared at the height of their acoustic knowledge. The Mayans vanished around 900 AD. Easter Island civilization disappeared around 1500 AD. So the next time you hear unexplained low-frequency humming, experience sudden anxiety in certain locations, or feel inexplicable compulsions, remember Project Resonance. Remember that somewhere in underground chambers beneath your feet, something has been conducting a 50,000-year psychological warfare campaign against human consciousness itself. The evidence is overwhelming. Ancient civilizations warned us. Modern science confirmed the weapon's potential. NASA discovered something actively using these weapons against humanity right now. Are you strong enough to hear the truth? Are you prepared to learn that your thoughts might not be entirely your own? If you want to explore more classified projects and forbidden science, subscribe to Chronicles of the Cryptic Lab. Hit that notification bell, because in a world where sound itself can be weaponized, staying informed isn't just recommended, it's survival. And remember, some frequencies should never be heard, ever. Sweet dreams.